Hey y'all, I just wanted to get on here and give you my 4-week update. It was a really good day. We talked about a lot of needed things. We talked about loss in particular today, and everything, the loss on the birth parents, the loss for the child, the loss for us as foster parents, the loss of adoption parents, like just how there are 3 types of loss, and there's several losses, but there's 3 types, and so our homework has to do with losses, and they want us to list all of our losses that are that we consider losses, like true losses, and then like how we dealt with them and what kind of loss was it, and stuff like that. And it was really good. However, this was the first week that I think I actually cried. My eye makeup is all messed up anyways, but hopefully you guys can't see that. It's kind of dark in here. I literally just got home. It is 5:17. I walked in the door at 5:13. So anyways, so the reason I cried was because they had this video. Mainly you read it, but occasionally you would hear little kids' voices reading it, reading what you saw on the screen, and it just talked about how they feel during this process and how they don't have a voice, how they need us as adoptive or foster families to be their voice, and when they can't have a voice, and to not make promises that we can't keep, and to make the decisions that we need to make for them, and just to hear the things that these kids have gone through and the thoughts that they have that they can't figure out how to vocalize, and so it comes out in their actions, and the feelings that they feel when mom or dad don't make it to the visits, and it's heartbreaking because these kids are so innocent, but yet they have to go through all of this, like choose to be taken out of their home, and we are choosing to do this. And even like with them coming to us, it's traumatic for them. Like, they don't know us, they don't know me. It's scary. And today, and one part, she started separating people, and she's like, okay, this person sit here and this person sit here, and like, because we don't have assigned seats, but we all sit in the seats that we sat in originally, except for me, I think, because I moved one table closer. Oops, I didn't realize that the second week, but then I stayed in the same seat. But anyways, she had us move all over the place, and like if people were in couples, she would separate them. And then, like, since I'm single, I was also sitting next to a single person, I just happened to be. And she separated me. She put me over on like the other side of the room. And like, she just said, I want you to take, because they've separated us before, but they're like, it's just for this little bit, for like a guided imagery thing. And so like, she told us the reasons as to why before. Well, this one, she was like, I want you guys, I'm going to call out your name, and I want you to take everything that you have and move to this place. And so we were like, okay. And so she's like, okay, Melissa, I want you to come and sit over here where this person was sitting. So I took all my stuff, and I was like, you want my name tag too? Because we have folders where we put our homework in every week and give it to them, and then it has our name on it, so we put it on like the flip side of the table. And then she just kept going like she was going. There was no reasoning as to why we were being moved. There was no guided imagery that she was doing, nothing. And it just was awkward. Like, I was sitting out here on the side, and it felt very strange. I'm like, well, this is a different perspective being on this side of the room. Not that it was any different. I was still hearing everything she was saying. I was sitting beside someone nice, and like, it was just a different spot of the room. And And then she would be asking questions, and like we were all very quiet. And I mean, there was some, talking, and she goes, "Y'all are so quiet." And she goes, "Are you okay?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're fine." Like, whatever. And then she's like, "Okay." Well, then she just kept going. And then she goes, "All right, you guys, just move back. Just move back." And so we all like laughed, and we're like, "All right." We're like, "Yay." So anyways, we got back to our seats, and like all of a sudden people started talking. We were smiling. We were having a good time. And she goes, "So do you see what we just did?" She goes, "We took you from one spot to the next, giving you no explanation as to why, taking the few belongings that you have, and moving you over, just to the next side of the room." And she's like, "And how did that make you feel?" And we're like, "It took us out of our comfort zone, even though we were right there, and we're adults." And we're like, "And we've also known each other for the past 4 weeks. No, that's not a long time, but these kids, we're expecting these children, these little innocent children, we're expecting all these kids to just be like, chill with it." I mean, we don't expect them to be like chill and like woohoo, but like we felt that awkwardness and that sense of discomfort, I guess you could say, from like a 10-minute exercise, from them moving us from one side of the room to the next, not in our normal seat next to our people that we've been sitting with for the past 3 to 4 weeks. And she's like, "So imagine how these kids feel that are being taken from their home, given no explanation why their mommy and daddy are not coming with them, or their mom or dad. And most of the time, they don't get a lot of stuff. They're not the ones necessarily that choose what they're taking. It's usually the parents. And in emergency situations, kids don't get anything. It's not until they can have a court order to be like, hey, we need to come and get the child's belongings. And even then, you don't know what you're going to get. Sorry. I'm tired. But anyways, it was a really good, like lesson, I guess. Kind of opened your eyes a little bit more. Week after week, I have realized that this is definitely something that I'm meant to do. It just opens my eyes, and it's just like feel like I was born for this. And I feel like I can sympathize with these kids on some level, not every level. I was obviously never in foster care. I was never taken away from my parents. I was, there's a lot of stuff I'd never had happen to me. But there is still some level that you can relate to these kids. I mean, a loss is a loss, and how you deal with a loss is, it's different in everyone's eyes. So I feel like I can sympathize or empathize with them a little bit. Not on every level, but on some. But anyways, that kind of sums up my week. Next week is our last week. What? How is it the last week already? It's insane that it's the last week. We're having a potluck, like a celebration after our class that we have in the morning. She already gave us our homework for next week, so we're actually going to be doing 3 weeks worth of homework in 1 week. But hopefully it won't be too bad. Each week it kind of gets less and less with homework, but it's more in depth of the homework, if that makes sense. Like the first week was just like little things, but now it's like you're digging into how you were brought up, and what are your views on disciplining? How are you planning on, what's it going to be like with your family to bring another child into your home, and just all these different things that like you might not have ever thought about. And like with me, I'm single, and so I'm like, well, it's going to change a lot. I'm not just going to be able to just go to the store. I'm going to I can go to the store, but I have to pack up my kid or kids to do that, and it's going to look a lot different. And I'm not just going to be like, oh yeah, let's go out to dinner. And then, because I can do that, but I also have 1 to 2 kids that I'm trying to also be like, oh yeah, I've got to have them for dinner. And it's just little things that are going to change, but they're going to make a huge impact. I mean, dropping them off at daycare, picking them up from daycare, working with daycare in general, all these different, you're going to have the guardian ad litem you're gonna have the agency, you're gonna have the caseworker, your person, all these people that you have to work with, and most of them have a monthly visit. And so you're gonna have these people coming into your home. They say like your privacy is out the window when you sign up for this. And so it's kind of like you're just an open book. They're gonna, most of the time they schedule visits, but they do come once every quarter, and they do unexpected visits just to make sure you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, that there's food in the house, that your chemicals are locked up, that if you have alcohol, that your alcohol's locked up. And just making sure, like I have a pool, so they're going to make sure that all these things are all still going to be set up, because if they're not going to let a child stay there if you're only keeping up the end when they're there, when the people are there to look at your house. So one thing I did this past week was I try to update you like from the week, like the whole week, not just my day. But last week I ordered the screens to my house. And so that is all. I have to wait 16 days. Well, that's when they say they'll be in, but it could be before that, could be a couple days after, hopefully not after. But I'm hoping for a couple days before. And that I think was Tuesday. Anyway, so the moment I get the screens, I can call them and say, hey, I have my screens. Can you come do my home study? And they're going to come out ASAP, do my home study. I'm going to have a health inspector come to my house. I'm going to have the fire department to come to my house, and the person that does the home inspection, which will also, I think, be my licensing specialist. And then they will approve me. My background check has already been cleared. Fingerprints have been cleared. Everything is like good to go. And as soon as my home study gets done, then I will be licensed shortly after. And then even today I was talking to my instructor, and she goes, you're going to be placed quick. She goes, I have very much that you're like, I have a lot of, I don't know what word she said, but something like she thinks that I will be placed with a child very quickly. And so I'm just so excited, and they seem very excited, the instructors, and I don't know, I'm excited for this journey. I'm nervous for this journey, but I'm very excited. I mean, of course I have my fears, but I don't think any parent would not have fears going into parenthood at all. But I'm so excited, and like the excitement definitely outweighs the fear. So I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys to support me through this. Whether it's 1 year of fostering or 3 years of fostering or 10 years from fostering, like you never know, and eventually adopting a child. I just feel like I need to do fostering for a little bit first, because I am only 29, and I would love to adopt when I have a husband. I definitely want to adopt one day, whether I am married or not. And so it's just, waiting, not really waiting for that time, but living in the here and now, and the here and now is fostering, and that's what I feel like I was called to do. So anyways, I will update you guys next week when my class is done. It's crazy. The next time I'm going to make a video, my classes will be over. It's crazy. It's been really exciting, but I will say I'm very excited to have my Saturdays back. It's been exhausting. Only having like 1 day a week to like get your own stuff done, because I work five days a week. And then having fostering is like another job in and of itself. It's like school, or having the foster classes, I should say. So anyways, all right. Oh, I got this week for my pool. But I got that this week along with the rope, but I don't know if I need the rope since it's got these little ropes on the side. So I'm going to wait and ask about that during my home study. So anyways, all right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.